I think 90% of people fail at anything.
Have built up that discipline within you and then starting to do it in the market as well.
I coach high performance CEOs as well, and not trading, but just life.
All right, what's up, YouTube traders? This is William from Bearable Traders, and I got a special guest here. Jeremy, just introduce yourself, and why don't you tell them how we met?
My name is Jerremy Alexander Newsome. We met side by side in Montreal, Canada. I was on the stage. I did a presentation. I had my phone number at the end of the presentation. And when I sat down, I was replying to my text, and you were one of the people that texted me.
Yeah.
Phone dinged. I turned, and you were like,
I was right there.
And so we met, and then I watched Andrew's presentation like probably 2 or 3 hours after mine. I really enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. I learned a lot about it, and a lot about Andrew, a lot about your guys' program, and I'm really, really excited to just be around people who actually trade and love the markets and appreciate risk management. That's my biggest thing. I don't work with anyone who is all about Lamborghinis and bikinis. I want to focus on risk, man, because that's what the billionaires do, right?
That's right. And you have your own website and your own chat room, right?
I do indeed. Yep.
You want to tell everyone what that is?
Yep. So I created a company called Real Life Trading about 5 years ago. And you probably know this, but you can see the candle in the middle of my logo, right, William?
I do.
Yes.
Yes. It's a very strong bullish candle is what it looks like.
That's right. So I created Real Life Trading about 5 years ago, and my mission is to enrich lives with mentally liberating education. So just teaching people how to properly day trade, use options to protect their long-term investments, and just really understand the sentiments and the movement of markets through candlestick analysis.
Yeah, and when I was watching your presentation in Montreal for that summit, I felt like more connected to you than anyone else because it seemed like you were geeking out almost on the technical side in a certain way, and I really liked that. So I got up and asked a question about Jeremy, and we just connected afterwards, and we both thought, like, how could we do some sort of discussion like this to help other traders? Like, that's the goal with this. How can we help ourselves and help other traders? So I had this idea. Jeremy was talking about a strategy that he uses, or a single candle setup called the high wave candle, which I had never heard of. I know what the candle is on my own, but I've never heard of how he interprets it. And when I was listening to him talk, I'm thinking, like, all right, if I know how a trader in Tennessee, Nashville uses this candle, and if I know he teaches this to other traders, and that if other people around the world see this, that they're going to go long here and put their stop here and have their risk management like that, that helps me as a trader. Because now when I see that, I don't even think of high wave candle. I think of Jeremy. I know how Jeremy might trade this if he sees this. And I know how anyone who works with Jeremy might trade this. So now I understand there's buy orders and sell orders and stops and limits in this area. And that helps me. And for anyone new or experienced, if you start to understand how other people trade, that can greatly improve your trading. So that's what this discussion is about, right, Jeremy?
Bingo. And I want to let everyone know who's listening that William did an incredible job asking not from a, hey, I already know this question, because we're all learning about the markets all the time. Every day we learn new things about the markets, especially myself, and we're always students. So I just want to say, man, from me to you, just I appreciate your humility and just your overall candor of how great you are and just asking really fantastic questions. So just thank you for that as well.
Yeah,
you were asking me the whole next 4 weeks just about the question. And you would do a trade setup. You'd send it to me like, hey, what do you think about this trade? It's like 2-minute high wave candle. So it was great.
Yeah, no, it was so fun, man. I love it. I'm geeking out over that stuff. But then also, it's not even that geeky, right? We are trying to learn how to improve our trading. It's really smart. And in our trading community, that's what we like to focus on, teaching people how to improve their trading and become independent traders. So again, when we're thinking about how to do this with you, that's what I wanted to focus on today. And so do you want to tell people just a little bit about your high wave candle, and then we'll go into that, and then we'll talk about something else just so they can understand it how I did?
Yeah, absolutely. The high wave candle is an indecision candle, and it gives you so much insight because of the amount of volume that takes place in that candle. And it gives you a visual interpretation of what people are thinking. It's a very, very indecision-based candle. And the trade that you sent me, William, that we're going to review today, I believe, was Tesla, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you shorted Tesla on Wednesday?
I think it was Wednesday. Yeah, I think so.
So as did I. And But what's fascinating about that is I know a lot of people who went long. So I'm very, very excited to hear why you specifically went bearish. But what I'm going to show everyone is I also played Tesla on Wednesday. And our goal was to kind of help people understand why. So this candle, as you now know, William, this is the 5-minute candle on Tesla. What type of candle is that, my man?
That's a high wave candle.
It's a high wave candle. So the high wave candle has a lower shadow and an upper shadow that are almost equal size. And then you have a nice little candle body. So what we have to think about is this is just a purely indecisive candle. This is a candle that tells you no one knows what's about to happen. But when it does happen, everyone's then going to know what's up. So you have this massive amount of volume coming in on Tesla. Huge, huge bullish volume. So when the second candle right here closes below that first candle, how do all of the traders who bought on that first candle, how do they feel?
Not good, man.
Exactly. They're scared, they're worried, they're terrified, they're losing money, they're upset. So as soon as that candle closed, I knew not to be bullish. And as soon as that candle happened, I said to myself, all right, I'm only going to play Tesla bearish today. And that was based on nothing else other than 2 candles, which was the first 2 candles on this 5-minute chart.
Like in the presentation, you would talk about how you might short if the wick breaks, and then you'll put your stop maybe at the top of the wick. But in this case, that was probably too much risk to get the reward, I'm guessing. So what did you actually do? In my mind, you can't do that in this specific instant. So maybe you wait for a pullback after your bearish sentiment and then put your stop when your entry is now closer to your stop, which gets an easier risk to reward. Maybe I'm wrong, but how did you actually trade it then?
It's a great question. So the answer is I did actually initially do this exact trade.
You did? All right. That's exactly how you taught it.
Exactly how I taught it.
Yeah.
Now, the cool part is I actually like large stops. And I know you're more of a 2-minute kind of guy. We're going to look at your trade in just a moment. But it's a lot of people really, really like tight stops. They have that big explosive risk. There's nothing wrong with that, or big explosive gains. There's nothing wrong with that at all. For me, I like to get into a trade, establish my risk, determine if I'm going to be wrong. And if I'm not going to be wrong, then I can change the risk and I can do what's called an add and reduce. So an add and reduce means I can add a position size and still reduce my stop value so that I can lose less than I originally intended. Because I never have Hulk days, ever. I never do that.
I wish I could say that. I wish.
Dude, my discipline is the most insane. Like when it comes to trading, I know exactly how much I'm going to lose every single trade, and I will never lose more than that. So on this particular trade, like really good. I didn't short when it broke. I shorted the retest. So when this candle came in, I got triggered in. My stop was way the heck up here. As soon as this candle, the third candle came in, this was an inside candle. This inside candle shows, again, some consolidation, some indecision. And I was hoping that I would get this. I was hoping that that would occur. So when it didn't, when it starts trading up a little bit higher, I was like, okay, maybe I get stopped out. And then we got this pattern. Are you familiar with what this pattern is?
I mean, I see a hanging man on the second one. I see a potential bull flag, and it broke up barely, it looks like, maybe by a penny. But I'm not sure how you call that, but I see both of those potentials. Yeah,
beautiful. No, those are all correct. And so when you blend all those together, that's known as an evening star reversal.
Got it.
So this evening star reversal, this is a really strong pattern. So once I saw that pattern, I take my stop from here, and I lowered it to here, right above the high of that candle pattern.
Nice. I see it. I see why you did that. Okay.
Yep. And I really like the fact that you noticed that it popped its head just, a few pennies right here, because some people went long right there.
Fake out breakouts, man. I hate those things.
Ooh, me too. Me too. But what's interesting is this one's a very, very easy one to see because you had bullish candle, bullish candle, bullish candle, bullish candle. You're going to go long after 4 candles in a row? Oh, sorry, dude. I don't know why you're doing that. But so if you're going long here, yeah, fake out, breakout, everyone gets train wrecked. And once this candle comes in, so this guy right here, so once this guy comes in, my stop is now, again, presently there. I've reduced my risk, so there's no way I'm going to lose less than my risk. Once this candle comes in, what is interesting is it shares the low of this bullish candle. So there's support here.
Mm-hmm.
For me, when that candle broke down, I added to my short. Mathematically, I determined the risk so that I could add shares and not lose more than my overall risk component.
Nice.
And then I exited a quarter of the position right here when it made a new low. So just right below that support. So here's the support.
Mm-hmm.
So right as soon as it made just 2 pennies lower, I exited a quarter. And then I exited the rest of my position right here, just randomly, because I knew the U.S. market was going to close early. And I was like, hey, I'm up on the trade. I'm just going to take my profit and I'll be done.
Heck yeah, right. So you did a lot of reanalyzing after your initial setup. And we got to do that, traders. Sometimes we just stick to our risk to reward and we leave it. We'd use limit orders and we just wait for one or the other to happen. But if you've analyzed a setup, you can reanalyze it after you see more information, which is exactly what he did. And you changed your initial profit target to something else based on all these other factors, right?
Bingo. And because at this point, I've been in the trade. So from here to here is like 2 hours. So if I'm in a trade for more than 2 hours, we know that it's not going to work out amazingly well.
Uh-huh.
But most people, it's funny, most people do think, they're like, oh yeah, this trade's going to work out great. I'm like, dude, if you've been in 2 hours, it's probably not going to just crap the pet. It's just not going to just do this. So usually if I'm in a trade for 2 hours, I know I'm going to win small on it, and I'm totally okay with that. So I won very small on Tesla that day, but it was a win, so that's all good.
Awesome. And you know what? I want to do some. How long have you been trading, Jeremy?
11 years.
All right. Let's actually do something different and not look at my trade right now, because you said something that will help so many people on YouTube and so many people from our community and hopefully in your community, that maybe you talk about it a lot with your traders, that you don't Hulk out. In our community, people Hulk out, and there are a lot of new traders, some experienced traders, and I've Hulked out many times. I share it with everyone how much I've lost before. I had a 50 times max loss day, man. And I'm not exaggerating. Like, damn, 50 times, right? It's not okay. So I would love to hear your insights, like specific things you've done, how you think about it, the psychology, what has worked best for you. Because when I think about 90% of traders who fail or so, like, I wonder what percent of those fail because of over max loss days. And my guess is a significant amount.
Significant. It has to be.
Yeah, so I would love, instead of going into my trades, to share your insight on that. I've only been trading for 4 years, man. You're more experienced and a better trader in every way, so I want to learn also. And if we can share that, like, this will be a great learning experience. So please, if you're willing to, tell us about that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the kindness, man. And I would not say that I'm a better trader by any means. I mean, we're just both humans. So it's my goal, same as your goal. And again, I appreciate the opportunity to be here just to kind of help out. So here's the two things as far as trading psychology is concerned. Trading is exactly like life. If you make one bad mistake, it can ruin your whole life. And most people in life won't rob a bank. Why?
Busted, go to jail, ruin their life, lose everying. Yeah. Not worth it. Too much risk.
Too much risk. The consequences do not outweigh the reward.
Yep.
If I mean, what? I'm gonna rob a bank and make what? 50 grand, maybe. If they have that much cash in the bank. Here's a quick note for anyone who wants to rob a bank: they don't even have that much cash in the bank anyway. Like at any given time, like what? 60 grand max.
All right, traders. If you had a max loss day and you're done with trading, don't go out and rob a bank to get it back.
Don't rob a bank. Okay. There's not enough money. Okay, that's step one. But step two of the psychology, William, is for me, and again, this is just me personally, is I hold a pain that is greater than a loss. Because here's one thing I know for sure. You are going to lose money on trades. That's just going to happen. Like, there will be times where you're going to lose on a trade. So since I know that's going to be an absolute certainty, then I know mathematically how to lose a certain amount of money per trade. So I'll show you the formula. So the formula is difference of entry minus stop. So let's say your risk, William, is $500. Mm-hmm. And on this trade, your entry was 238 and your stop was 242. Mm-hmm. Just for really, really basic numbers right now. What is the math on that?
I'll let you do it, man. This is Independence Day. Oh,
This is Independence Day, brother. 242 minus 238 is $4. So 500 divided by 4 equals 125.
125, yeah.
Now, for a lot of people, they're going to go, 125 shares, that's nothing. It's like, well, dude, that's your $500 of risk.
Right.
So that means that's a mathematical formula that I can absolutely scientifically assimilate. This is how much I'm going to lose on this trade.
Mm-hmm.
And now I won't lose any more. Now I might lose like $510, like with slippage. I get that, but
Right.
it won't be a massive amount more.
Right.
So if I use this risk formula for every single trade ever, I will be able to keep that consistent. Because what most people will do is they'll feel, right, William? They'll go, yeah, this is the trade. Let me buy a little bit more. And they'll do like 600, 700 shares. And if that's too much risk, the problem is it's the exact same as going to the gym and trying to put 400 pounds on the bench press machine. You're going to crush yourself. Your mind has one thought process, but your body will not be able to control the risk. So you'll either exit too early or you'll hold way too long because you don't want to stomach the loss anyway, and it'll get really, really bad. So then the pain for me breaking this rule has to be astronomical. It has to be huge. For example, here's a pain that you would have. Ready? No, don't hate me when I say this, but if you and I, let's say you and I work together and you were a coaching student of mine, I would say, William, you have to shave your head.
Not happening. I don't care.
If you ever lose more than $500 on any trade ever, you have to shave your head. Those beautiful Goldilocks are gone.
Okay, so okay, let's use that. Now, how, like, I'll just be like, F you, Jeremy, I'm not going to. Right, and that's what a lot of traders do. They have their discipline. They think they're going to have a punishment or a consequence or something. But at the end of the day, it all still has to come from you. We don't have a coach, right? We don't have a teacher. We don't have a boss. We don't have someone to bench us. It all still comes from us. And I think that's where so many people fail with that discipline. Consequencing, if that's even a word in that for this phrase, yourself, besides someone else doing it to you. How do you overcome that difference there?
I like that phrase, consequencing yourself. I'm taking that. That's mine.
It's yours.
So here's the cool thing, man. You've used the statistic 2 or 3 times in this segment that 90% of traders fail. I think 90% of people fail at anything. Doesn't matter what it is. So restaurant, business, becoming a professional athlete, becoming a professional chef, becoming a neuroscientist, launching a rocket, 90%, probably even more than that, fail at anything, only because as humans, we hate discipline. It's just that simple. So what has to happen is you have to figure out, do you actually want it bad enough to be that disciplined? Because that's the only way you're going to achieve success in literally anything. Like if you're going to be an Olympic athlete, if you're going to make a lot of money trading, you have to go, this is it. This is what I'm going to do. You reach that pain threshold where you go, there's absolutely no chance in this world that I'm going to break this rule, this plan. It's just impossible. And you live by that as like your moral compass. Just like you probably wouldn't go into a store and punch an old lady in the face. Right? You probably wouldn't punch anyone in the face.
Never been in a fight in my life.
So that moral code that you have is this same exact moral code where you're like, okay, I'm just not going to break this rule. This is just my rule, and I'm not going to break it. And when you go there, when you follow that, your trading goes up a notch. It just does, because that's what's successful, like billionaires. That's what billionaires do, man. They just don't break rules.
All right, man. So I'm going to not challenge you, but I want you to give something specific here, because what you're saying is perfect theoretical. How does someone go from trying to do that and failing to achieving that? So if we go back to your example, if I coached a student of yours and I did something outside of the rule and you were to like take a bunch of guys, hold me down and shave my head, there is no way I would break that rule. It just wouldn't happen, right? But how do we work towards that for our own discipline, knowing that you're never going to do that? You're going to tell me to, and maybe I'll just like, all right, Jeremy, I'm never talking to you again. I'm not cutting my hair, right? I could always do that. I could always BS myself and get out of it and pull that on you. So for the trader who's struggling getting there, what can they do to work on it to build up to that extreme discipline?
So that's funny that you told me that, because you know how many times that's happened, man?
What?
Like hundreds. To me, over the last 11 years, I mean, at this point, I coach high performance CEOs as well, and not trading, but just life. Because a segment of customers and people who I love to work with are former Marines.
Discipline.
Bingo. They'll do anything, right? Hoorah. They'll go to the depths of hell to do whatever they need to do to make money or to be successful or to help their family. And you just have to get enough leverage on yourself. So that's the answer to your question. You have to find the leverage. Start small. So for me, the thing that I liked the most in this world at one particular point in time was milkshakes. So I said, all right, if I break any of these rules, I'm not going to have any milkshakes for 2 weeks. I love milkshakes, like a next level love. Okay.
Okay.
Now you can't say like, I'm not going to trade the market because that's dumb. You can't say like, all right, I'm not going to look at charts for 2 weeks. Like that's stupid. Like you have to take something that's actually meaningful from your life. So you have to start small and then just see if you can do it. If you can't do that, then trading is not for you. It's just that simple. Like just give it up now and just throw in the towel because I'm sorry, you will eventually lose all of your money. It just will happen. One bad day, right? All you need is one. It doesn't have to be next week, next month. It could be 4 years from now, but you will lose all of your money eventually. You'll go all in on a trade. It could be Bitcoin or whatever. You're going to go put all of your money on that trade, and you're going to lose all of it because you don't have the discipline to stack up and do what you need to do at the right time. So start small. That's the same way you run a marathon. Literally, that stupid cliche thing. It's one step at a time. You got to run 3 miles before you can run 26 miles.
Definitely. So for anyone who actually is watching all of this and you're struggling and you want it as kind of like a refresh and a restart, just think about that. Right now could be wherever you're at, starting to work on your discipline in a small way and using consequences outside of trading to help influence your trading. And then on top of that, Jerremy, how it helped me, first of all, I talk with my mom all the time and she like helped me think about good habits I do no matter what, like brushing my teeth. No matter what I do in the world, I'm going to brush my teeth before bed. I'm like haggard and tired. Like I will never miss brushing my teeth, no matter what. Never. I will use my...
You do have nice teeth.
I will use my finger, and even if I don't have toothpaste, I'll just scrub if I have to. But hopefully I'll have toothpaste, the finger toothpaste, man. Never. So we talked about that. And then we talked about working on discipline outside of trading to influence trading. So like it could be something so simple, Jerremy, like making your bed. If you can't even have a rule of something that takes like 20 seconds and do it every single morning, no matter what. And sometimes when I tell this to traders, I think they laugh at me, but they don't really get it. It's like all you're doing is building up the skill of discipline outside of the market to help your discipline inside the market. Okay? Like, yeah, that's another way that you guys can try this, building discipline outside the market to influence your trading.
That is so insightful, man. You are 100% correct.
Yeah. Yeah. It's helped me a lot. And then start small. What Jerremy said, it was not so small because the milkshakes are his favorite thing. It'd be watermelon for me. That's my favorite thing. I'd curse without.
Oh, yeah.
And, right? And for me, it's the same thing, starting small with your bed and then progressing bigger until you've kind of built up that discipline within you and then starting to do it in the market as well. But in terms of just not going past your max loss, Jerremy, was that something you were always a natural at? Did you struggle with it in the very beginning or no?
Well, yeah, the very beginning, I didn't know anything about it. So once I was taught it, it just made sense because I'm a very rigid person to some degree. I have the belief that I can do anything I want if the pain is great enough, you know. So, or if the pleasure is great enough. I mean, you have to think about both sides because what we're talking about here, man, is financial freedom.
Heck yeah.
Realistically,
yeah.
Giving people the ability to make $300 extra a week, $3,000 extra a week, $3,000 extra a week, doesn't matter what the number is, but it is a number to someone out there, and to someone out there, $300 a week would be life changing. You know, $300 a day would be astronomical. $300 an hour would be just unparalleled.
Right.
So that's what we're discussing. So you have to have both bridges. Like you have to have the pain, but it's better to be led by your dreams than pushed by your problems. So you have to have the ability to go, this is really actually what I want. And it has to be something so magnificent that it pulls you, so that you don't have to like begrudgingly do everything that you have to do or you need to do.
All right, man. So you have a consequence system, and I know the reward system is like you made money, you feel good. But do you have something like, do you go out and get a milkshake if you followed all your rules? Or is anything like that to reinforce your good behavior? Do you reward yourself?
I'll tell you both of my plans, man. I have no problem. Like, I'm an open book, dude.
Cool.
So my plan right now is if I break any of my rules, and when I have a lot more other than the risk thing.
I'm sure. All right.
Bro, that's just one.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have like 13 rules and like 7 different strategies with each one with different rules. So I have to pull it up and read them before I do anything. My rule right now is I have to go 3 months with no sugar, no alcohol, which I'm already doing, no meat of any kind, no sports of any kind, and so all my enjoyments in life are gone. Plus, I have to eat beets, Brussels sprouts, covered in mustard, 3 meals for 3 days in a row. I don't like any of those things, by the way, beets, Brussels sprouts, or mustard. So that's my current pain presently.
Right now, because you broke a rule.
No, if I do.
Okay.
If I break a rule.
Did you break a rule and you're on that right now?
No.
Okay,
So the no drinking thing, I just decided to not do it one day because I woke up kind of cloudy and I didn't trade well. And so I was like, this is stupid. I'm just going to stop drinking.
All right.
So
so you have okay, so you seriously have your consequences. Now let's hear your rewards for people to know that he's got to have rewards, right?
Yep.
Okay, what
so
are your rewards?
The very first reward that I ever had was I found a refrigerator that I wanted because this will sound dumb, but I'd never had a nice refrigerator growing up. I grew up insanely poor, and so we just had we just never had good refrigerators, man. So when I was like 23, I found this refrigerator that I wanted from Best Buy, and it was like $2,200. And I traded my way up, and when I made that $2,200, I just took all of it out the account, bought that refrigerator, and every time I opened it, and that beautiful cold air would hit me in the face, and like I would have my drinks right there, and I love cold water. It's like one of my favorite things ever. That to me was immediate pleasure. And how many times you open up a refrigerator every day?
Right, so many.
So we're talking like, and then I started buying like a mattress, and then I bought TVs, and then I would donate to charity, and then I would go on and I would go to a restaurant and I would give the waitress a $100 tip for a $20 meal. Like just things that would just really, really make me happy. And I just started doing that. So my current reward is very vague. I reward myself and others. So I go out and I give money to other people. I donate a lot of money to charity. I help my mom on a lot of aspects. I give money, give presents, give gifts, and then every 2 or 3 months I'll buy something for myself. So Monday, 2 things came in the mail. I bought for myself a Hindu coin that was minted in 1879 AD.
Wow.
Collecting treasures. So I bought one of those, and I also bought a pre-Revolutionary War Massachusetts 16 pence. So those 2 things I bought for myself, and those came on Monday.
All right, so you guys hear that? So he's got his consequences, he's got his rewards, which is so important in trading. You got to feel good. You got to do stuff for yourself and others when you're doing well, and you got to have some sort of. Not everyone will believe in this, but I actually personally do also, having pain as a consequence as well. I actually love it.
I promise it works, man. Most people don't believe it because they're just scared. But the thing is, it works because that's why no one has done anything bad. If they're listening and they have a job, the reason they still have a job is because they haven't said that thing to that person to get fired because that's painful to them. They don't want to lose their job.
Right, exactly. There you go. Right.
Everyone believes that it works. Trust me. It 100% works. People are just scared to do it.
So this is about 30 minutes, Jeremy, so we're going to stop pretty soon here. But I do want to tell you, which is really funny because we could be different in this way, is that one of my pains, and it's like a weird thing. You're going to have to think through it. When I have a max loss day and I'm feeling down, not a max loss day, when I've hulked out and gone past max loss, and I feel like the end of the world is there. I'm a stupid trader. I don't deserve to be trading, right? I need to stop. The thing that actually helps me more than anything else is to go do nice things for people. And we're not trying to promote ourselves, I promise you. But when I freaking get out of the trading world and realize trading is not my life, there's so much more to go on, and I just go and do something nice, it just makes me feel good that It's like, yes, trading's not everything in my life. If I can give to others and feel good, for whatever reason mentally, man, it helps me overcome the internal defeat I feel. So
Let me challenge you. Let me challenge you with something right now, William. What city do you live in?
Los Angeles, but Pasadena, California.
Okay. So I want you over the next 2 months to find a homeless person that's on like the side of the road, and then hold up a sign next to them that says, "I will match dollar for dollar every dollar that you give this person," and hold it up for 2 hours.
2 hours? Wait, if I go past max loss or just do it?
Yeah. Anytime. Doesn't matter. No, not it doesn't have to be past. Just whenever. It can be on a good day, a good week, a bad day, a bad week, whatever. That's my challenge to you. Next 2 months.
Okay, but if I do it and record it, and hold on, but I will either accept it or not under this pretext. If I do it and record it, that's a pretty significant challenge that I don't know if I can do. And if I do it, then I get to give you a real challenge.
Done. Easy.
Okay, give me a minute.
Yeah, you don't have to accept it right now.
Okay, I will accept it or not later. That's a big one, man. And what is the point here? Incite this point on me, please.
So the point is, it takes everyone out of their comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
No one is comfortable doing that. But number two, here's the best part, is you will feel so much more like that human that you're helping. Because when you're holding this sign, obviously you have money. Mm-hmm. The people look at you and then they turn away in their cars, and you just kind of feel this, you feel like, you feel this tension, this humanality. Mm-hmm. And you realize, so the name of my company is Real Life Trading. Life comes before trading, like you mentioned earlier. Mm-hmm. So that life aspect, I did this 2 years ago with a guy who works in Nashville, Tennessee. You have to get a badge to sell newspapers. Mm-hmm. If you're homeless, you can get this badge, and you have to buy the newspapers for like a penny each, and you can sell the newspapers for however much you want.
Awesome.
So it was this guy named Jason, and I actually still talk to him to this day. And I did this for 3 hours, like a week and a half before Christmas, and was able to raise $500 for him from people who just gave him money, and then I matched that $500. And the thing is, it just helps you realize how meaningless your problems are. It's like, you're literally complaining that you lost fake money by pressing buttons on a computer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I didn't make money by pressing buttons. I'm upset. Your whole world changes, right? Your whole your whole perspective will go, man, and you will feel like a great human being, and you will truly give to society, and you will be able to contribute. And when you contribute, when you put that energy out there, there's only one thing that happens, and you know exactly what that is.
I do. Okay, let me actually just commit right now. Can we reduce it to 1 hour from 2 hours?
Done. The reason I did the challenge is just only because it will impact you in such a great way. And then you can challenge me for whatever you want. And in fact, if you let me know when you're going to do it, I might even fly out there and do it with you, dude. Who knows? Anything.
All right. Right now, I commit to it.
Done.
Okay.
That's how William does things, ladies and gentlemen.
I just commit on the spot, and I will do it. I'll do it.
I know you will.
I will. So, all right, we got like way off course of where the intention was, but that's the fun of this. Okay. All right.
That's trading sometimes.
Yeah, that totally, right? It totally is. Do you have anything final you'd like to say to anyone?
No, man. So we'll do this again at some point, and we will review one of your trades. And like I said, we'll just have these kind of discussions, and I'll just ask you all the same questions you asked me today.
Cool.
And or not necessarily the exact same ones, but same thing is, I would love to come back and just, again, pour into other people's lives and just do our absolute best to slowly tweak, slowly progress, and enrich the lives of others. That's why you're here, man. And it truly, I mean, you don't know how much it means to me that you reach out to me to do this collaboratively, just simply to help. That's what you said. You didn't pay me a dime. I want people to know that. Right. I'm not paid to appear on the show. Yeah. I didn't pay William for this. No money was transacted. We're just doing this out of the love of our hearts to really help other people understand this beautiful game of the market.
Definitely. So well said, Jeremy. And finally, to anyone who's watching this, like, if you think you only want to learn about technical analysis and setups in trading, you're missing 90% of the battle of what trading's about. We got off topic a lot from trading, but the psychological and things outside of trading can influence your ability to be successful so much more than technical analysis.
All
So,
in the mind, my man.
100%. All right. Thank you, Jeremy. I really appreciate your time, man. Happy 4th of July.
My pleasure. Take care.
Cool.